Todd Barrett. Todd Barrett lives in Oakland with his family, where he raises his son Malcolm. His greatest inspiration and motivation in providing services to our community. So, Todd, where you at? Come on, let's go.
Can I just quickly say something? This brother is super special to me because he has been to quite literally almost every to me for you from the very first one. And it took me 3 years to actually introduce myself and get to know him. So I feel very ashamed of that. But this is a great dude. Thank you. Thank you.
Setting my timer. I appreciate you, Guillermo. Oh, yeah. Here I am. I've been here for 5 years. I was I was brought into this community by Ray Mailer, and I've just came in and found a group of just beautiful, loving people. And why I'm here tonight talking to you is I want to talk about integrity. Chinua Achebe, Nigerian author, said one of the truest tests of integrity is its blunt refusal to be compromised. My story is complicated. I know what I look like. And I know the mixture of genetics and my experiences in life. And I know what my values are. And what I want to do in my life is co-create reality with people that want to make the world a better place. So I live in my integrity. And that means I don't change when I have pushback from people that think that maybe I'm full of shit. Because I live in my honesty, and that honesty doesn't change, and my life doesn't change based on some people's experiences. I was talking to my therapist just yesterday in preparation of coming up here, and one of the things that she had told me was that as human beings, we have a tendency to focus on catastrophizing, on the negatives. And I can tell you, there are 20 people here that are here because they are my friends that I've invited them personally. I looked at the guest list tonight. 20 people who are saying to me, I see you and I see who you are and I see how you live and I see what your values are. And I see what you live for and what you strive for in our communities. And so I'm here for myself. I'm here for my friends. I'm here for all of us here. I'm here for my son Malcolm, a year and a half old, and this is the world that I'm helping to create with him. So some of the challenges that I experience that aren't immediately obvious in talking to me also include being on the spectrum. And that is something that I have also lived with all my life and heavily masked. And I have learned to mask things about being on the spectrum, such as really working at making eye contact, really trying not to bounce around when I'm thinking about things. I mean, if you saw me in the back of the audience tonight, you would have seen me jumping around, getting ready for tonight. But Denzel came up to me a couple years ago, and he said, I want to get you up on stage, man. And I was like, brother, look at me. Shit, man. I mean, I understand the privilege that comes with the way that I look. I understand the privilege that comes with my adjacency to whiteness. It doesn't matter that I had a grandfather who called me nigger. That doesn't help. That doesn't change things in the world. I understand what I have. And I don't think I should get up there. And Denzel said to me something that was really wise. He said, man, there are people who look like you do, who identify like you do, who have the experiences that you do, that want to hear from you, that need to hear from you. And that's why I'm here tonight. And I'm here to say never compromise. Your blackness is infinite. Infinite. And this is what moves us. So I've had some challenges in my life. I've had inquiry from a couple of folks that I shut down on and try to answer questions to the legitimacy of my identity. And the tricky part about being autistic is when I'm in a place of that kind of intense issue, my brain shuts down. I literally shuts down. I mean, those of you who have had conversations with that I calmly talk to, you know, I can just talk and it's great. We go into all depths of things. But when faced with someone who's like, prove it, that's challenging. But you know what? The percentage of people who have come up to me that said, you know, I don't believe you, I need you to prove it, have been minimal compared to the number of people that see me, see our connection, love me and accept me. So I'm honored to be here tonight. And in my life, like I said, I refuse to not be in my integrity and in my authenticity. There's something that Nelson Mandela would say to himself every day to get him through the struggles that he was facing against the people that were putting it on him. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade. And yet, the reckoning of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Ashe.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, does anybody have a question? Anyone? Question? Oh, here we go.
All right, Guillermo, give it to me.
My brother from another mother. You know, splendid. You know, the truth doesn't hurt. People are afraid of the truth, right? Everybody don't have confidence, so they hide the little bit that present them to be who they are. But those that know who they are, they always walk with the authenticity of the truth. The light is not this light. The light that I see in your eyes tells your story. Right? And that's that spirit, that imminent spirit, that potency that knows that this is only a tool. Yet, as you said, DNA wise, it is who you are, but yet you have learned how to navigate your possibilities. Right? So just know that being a father is the greatest thing that you can achieve, bringing life bringing an ancestor back, right? And that's the power that you have. And you're doing a great job at it.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
I'm long-winded, so I'm gonna be intentional about not. Um, oh no, I already started. So I work with little ones with autism, and I don't engage a lot with adults. You know what I mean? Like I don't have that as my visual. I have my little ones who are extraordinary in so many ways. You know what I mean? So I appreciate it when you said that you were on the spectrum because I try to let my parents know that, you know, if we were to remove that limiting belief that this child or this person is going to be less capable. You know what I mean? And then that feeds into it. I've seen my kids do so many awesome things. I just want to say that I think that you being on the spectrum is probably where you know, where you get your fly from. Like that 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 little added little special touch to it. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you.
Because there's something very detailed, especially as an artist and a creative. I see a lot of that in my little ones. But what I will speak to when you talk about masking, that's not just a spectrum thing. You know what I mean? I think a lot of us, the majority of us in the room, mask all day, every day, whether it's at work or school or even with the people that you live with. You know what I mean? Because we've all been expected to fit into some kind of space. So I love this event because I kind of want to like, well, girls, we want to talk too, but I appreciate. Well, what happened to me today was I love this because it's not very often that you see men having a space where you can get up and speak about those inner thoughts, those challenges. Women, we tend to have girlfriends, sisters. We have someone that we can express these things via text throughout the day. You're probably always holding so much. So I love just listening to your story and being able to relate to it because it helps me to look at the guy at the Taco Bell who was doing strange stuff. And I have to remind myself, like, oh, everybody has a little bit of a little something. You know what I mean? And to be more patient, to be more compassionate, and even with myself, because I'm like, people make mistakes, you know? So thank you. I just wanted to share.
Appreciate you.
I, I- before, I just got to say something. Uh, Todd, Todd actually told a story, but there was a few messages in his story, and he webbed it in a way that he made you the. You have to figure out what he was saying, right? He wasn't going to put it out there like this is what I'm saying. You have to be like, huh, right? So I don't know. If I didn't know Todd and I was listening to his story, I might be like, all right, but what? But what? My brother Todd is black. Put it out there just like that. Todd is black. Also on the spectrum. In case you didn't know. And fly. And fly. Thank you, Nikki.
Appreciate you.
Naomi, did you have a question real quick? Okay.
Hi, last one. Okay, mine is quick. Mine is actually a question.
Yeah.
So I've met his son Malcolm. He's like so cute. He's just like a little ball of sunshine. So kind, so cuddly, like literally adorable. So I just had a question about how your experiences in your life and like what values do you have that will help you raise Malcolm? And like how do you want to raise Malcolm and what values do you want to give him?
That's a really good question. So many values. I mean, if I could talk about In context of what I was talking about tonight, about experience, about culture, about my son, who, and those who have not seen my son, he's a light-skinned black boy with wavy hair. He's mixed. His identity is black. And raising him to understand that the challenges in our culture around race and ethnicity, navigating those murky waters, understanding that navigating that is the way to get us to connect. But for him, I love this. It's the gentleman who was in The Watchmen. He does that show where people do their genetics and he like reveals their history. What's his? Henry Louis Gates Jr. That's right. So I love this. This is a great thing I learned from him. There's this movie called Not Black Enough on Netflix, and I recommend anybody watch it. Vanessa Williams and other folks of similar experience. But basically, his wife is white, and so his daughter, for all the world, looks white. She's got straight, blonde, brown hair, very white features, and she comes home from school, says to him, to this man, so proud of his blackness and black liberation and just right everything. And she says to him that my friends at school they say to me, but you don't look black. What should I say to him then? And he said, you know what? You look straight in the eyes and you just say, you kiss my black ass. These are the things I'm going to teach my son.
Remember sitting on my sofa, tears running down my cheeks, thinking is it really over? I couldn't really leave.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hey, we still here? Let me hear her say, hey. Hear her say, yee, yee, yee.